Hello, happy belated Mother's Day. I was going to record this episode yesterday, but I had a horrible migraine. So, if you're a mommy and you're listening to this, happy belated Mother's Day. I hope you had a great day yesterday. I too am a mom. So, if you're saying it back right now, thank you. I appreciate it. But honestly, today I want to talk about how yesterday was emotionally weird for me before my migraine, of course. Not bad necessarily, just heavy. Yeah, it was heavy. And I realized something today after emotionally spiraling yesterday and venting and crying and overthinking and honestly just mentally dumping everything out. Emotionally purging might actually be one of the healthiest things we can do for ourselves. Because I seriously think a lot of us are walking around constipated, emotionally constipated, and physically constipated. Some of y'all need to go to the bathroom, drink some prune juice. We're supposed to purge our bodies multiple times a day, but today is not about today's conversation is not about our bodily health right now. It's about our mental health because a lot of us are emotionally backed up. A lot of us are emotionally constipated. We suppress everything because we're trying to be productive humans and strong and dependable and mature and responsible. We're trying to keep moving forward no matter what. We're trying to be parents and employees and friends and partners and caregivers and content creators and students and just human beings. We're just trying to be human and play all these roles that we have in our lives until eventually all those emotions just start piling up inside of you. And one day you wake up irritated at literally everything. And that's how I woke up yesterday morning. But before we get deeper into that, hello, my beautiful humans, my beautiful Homo sapiens. Welcome back to I Just Got Here, formerly known as the Bad Brain podcast. I am your host, Imani, or Yanni, or whichever you prefer to call me. Take your pick. Today's episode is a bonus episode because honestly, this was not planned. Well, yesterday it wasn't planned, but I still had all my notes, so I still wanted to record it. Anyway, this episode literally came from me emotionally purging yesterday morning. So, yeah, take it away, Samara. Welcome back. So, like I was saying, I woke up irritated yesterday. Not even angry. I was not angry. Honestly, I wasn't. I was just mentally overloaded. I didn't want to go to work. I didn't want to hear anyone ask me for anything. I didn't want to solve problems. I didn't want to think. I didn't want to carry anything mentally yesterday. And if I'm being completely honest, I think I've been emotionally overloaded for a while now. I've been emotionally constipated. That is so funny. I'm going to start saying that from now on. I just I just never admitted it. I haven't admitted it until recently. Because when you're constantly busy and constantly surviving and constantly moving, you don't really stop to process how much your body is actually holding emotionally. You just keep moving. And eventually your brain starts leaking emotions in weird ways through irritation, through snapping at people, through random crying spills, through emotional numbness, through shutting down, through feeling exhausted all the time, guilty, through getting annoyed by tiny things that normally would not bother you. And yesterday morning, I could feel it. I could feel all of that buildup. And the thing is, I know some of y'all, I know some of you beautiful people listening know exactly what I'm talking about. You know that feeling. You know that feeling where you're trying so hard to keep it together externally, but internally your brain is basically screaming, Leave me alone for 5 minutes, please. Just leave me alone. And that's where I was yesterday. And instead of distancing myself from it like I normally do, I sat down and I let myself spiral just a little. Not in a dangerous way or in a self destructive way. I just let myself feel everything. I journaled, I vented, I emotionally dumped everything out. I complained, I cried just a little, and I talked in circles. I even went to therapy, but and I just let myself be frustrated. And honestly, at first, I felt dramatic. I can't lie. I felt extremely dramatic. I was like, girl, you need to calm down. So many people have it worse than you. You're overreacting. You're complaining too much. But when you're so used to suppressing your emotion, expressing them feels embarrassing. And you start invalidating yourself immediately. Meanwhile, your nervous system is literally begging you to release something. And I think a lot of people do that to themselves, especially people who are used to being the strong one, the strong sibling, the strong friend in the group, the strong one in the family. You become so used to functioning emotionally overloaded that you don't even realize how heavy everything feels until you finally sit down and you let yourself feel it. And once I finally let myself emotionally purge yesterday, everything got quieter. Not externally. I'm not gonna lie. In my in my life, no, no, it didn't get quieter. But mentally, yeah, I was a lot quieter. That's the part that shocked me because after crying and venting and emotionally dumping everything, I suddenly stopped thinking emotionally. I started thinking clearly, like crystal clearly. And I realized emotional purging is kind of like cleaning out an overstuffed closet. Your brain gets so cluttered with unprocessed emotions that eventually everything starts falling on top of each other. I mean, my closet literally is like that right now. I need to purge some of my clothes or take them to Goodwill or something. But once you finally empty some of it out, emotions, of course, because that's what we're talking about. Once you finally empty some of those emotions out, you can breathe again. Honestly, I think people underestimate how important emotional release is. People act like healing only looks like meditation and green juice and yoga and peaceful journaling music in the background. No, no. Sometimes healing looks ugly. Sometimes healing looks like crying in your car before work. Sometimes healing looks like pacing around your room, talking to yourself. Sometimes healing looks like screaming into your pillow. Sometimes healing looks like voice noting your friend for 20 minutes straight. Sometimes healing looks like sitting in the shower, staring at a wall. Sometimes healing looks like angrily cleaning your room or going for a walk and crying halfway through it. I'm guilty of that. I've done that many times. And honestly, I think that's healthier than pretending you're okay all the time. Because eventually, suppressed emotions will, WILL, come out one way or another. Mhm. And I think a lot of people are emotionally overwhelmed right now without even realizing it, especially people who spend all day taking care of everyone else emotionally. Like parents and caregivers and people in customer service and people who have to be on all the time. People consistently surrounded by noise and responsibility and pressure. You start losing touch with yourself a little bit. And then one day you randomly cry because someone asked you for one extra thing. Hey mom, can I have another chicken nugget? I didn't make enough. Oh my God. That's just an example. That's just an example. And you didn't cry over the chicken nugget because it was horrible. You cried because your body already was carrying so much emotionally. And honestly, I think that's what happened to me yesterday morning. I was just full. I was emotionally full. I was irritated. I was overstimulated. I was full of pressure. I was full of responsibility, full of frustration. I was exhausted. I was full of thoughts. I kept swallowing instead of releasing. And after I got it all out, oh my God, I felt so much lighter. I felt like I was floating on a cloud, not magically healed, not suddenly problem free, but lighter. I felt like all this weight was just lifted off my shoulders, like my brain finally had room to breathe again. And the craziest part, after emotionally purging, I immediately became productive naturally. Not this forced productivity, not let me ignore my emotions and overwork myself productivity. No, 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 no. I genuinely felt clearer. I started thinking, okay, girl, what do I actually want to do today? And suddenly, I wanted to create. I wanted to draw tattoo designs. I wanted to move things around. I wanted to record. I wanted to go outside and go for a walk. I wanted to do something for me instead of just sitting there emotionally drowning. And that's when I realized emotional purging is not a weakness, it's release. It's release. And some of y'all desperately need to release those emotions. Seriously. Go sit in your car and scream. I'm giving you permission right now. Do it. Scream right now. Did you scream? Okay. You can also go for a walk. Look around. If there's no one there, scream. Scream to your heart's content. I know a lot of this has to do with screaming, but trust me, yelling releases a lot of emotion. You can also journal. You can scream in your head. You can cry in the shower. You can make voice notes. You can record video journals. Draw something. Draw something messy. Write poetry. Go to a rage room and break something. Hit something with a bat. I really want to go to a rage room. Dance around your room dramatically. Blast that music. Go for a run. Pray if you're into that. Lay in your bed and stare at the ceiling for a little bit. Just let the emotion out somehow. Even if it's not through screaming, just let it out. Of course, we're not letting it out by hurting people. We're not doing that. We're good people over here. But by helping yourself release all that pent up emotion and aggression and irritation and sadness and heaviness you've been carrying around inside of your body, it's like your body was suppressing everything. And it's exhausting. And honestly, I think a lot of people don't want to trauma dump. No one wants to trauma dump. No one wants to just go around dumping all their traumas on others. So they hold everything in until they mentally explode privately. That's why creative outlets are so important. I will vouch for this. I will stand on this hill until I die. Creative outlets are important. That's why journaling is important. That's why therapy is important. That's why art is important. That's why music is important. That's why movement is important. Human beings we need emotional release. We are not fucking robots. I'm sorry for my language. Excuse me, but we are not robots. A lot of our jobs think that we're robots. And if anything happens, they're just quick to replace us. But we're humans. We're not robots. We have emotions. We have feelings. We feel exhausted. We get tired. But that's a conversation for another time. We're not fucking robots. Yesterday reminded me of that heavily. I woke up emotionally overwhelmed. And leading into today, I feel a lot calmer. Not perfect, not euphoric, not magically healed, just emotionally lighter. Like I said, like I'm floating on a cloud. And I think sometimes that's enough. That's enough. Just release it. Anyway. Happy belated Mother's Day again to all of the beautiful mothers and caregivers and mom figures out there. You're doing a great job and you're a great mother figure. Take care of yourselves, not just everyone else. And thank you for listening to me ramble for however long this episode is. I hope you continue to have a great day, week, month, and year. Please go release some of that rage, some of that pent up emotion, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye. Take it away, Samara. Go ahead. You could scream right now. Scream right now in your car or scream out loud. Just scream. I'm giving you permission to just release it. Scream right now.